Hello beautiful Pisces, and welcome back to Intuitive Energies. My name is Jane, and this is your Pisces reading for, what are we at? We're at the magic. Yes, we are. Now, the next couple of days are going to be intensely fun, Pisces, because Spirit did a fun thing for me. They gave me the exact same two cards in a different deck. I'd love to hear what you guys would calculate the odds of that are. Like, honestly, that in the two last days, the cards come in. Like, if you look at it, tomorrow are these cards. This is a Chariot, this is a Chariot. Eight of Swords, Eight of Swords. It's quite interesting. So, we're going to do today's. And believe it or not, they have completely different meanings. And it's such a wonderful way of communicating with them. This is why this is my favorite way of getting communications from Spirit. I love tarot. I absolutely, it's like their alphabet, the language that they use for me. So whatever I'm getting, it's like a validation of what the downloads I get from them as I go along. The cards come out and they make it, it's like saying, yes, you're right. No, you need to take that thought and take it another way, because they come in hard and fast, and you could get it wrong. I guess you could get it wrong. So it's like a initial thought, and this is the end of the sentence. It's like they begin the sentence and the cards are the end of the sentence, if I could say that. That's the way it works for me. It's like a giant puzzle to be unscrambled, and my brain and my whole spirit loves the challenge of it, loves the figuring it all out for you guys, okay? I don't think I've ever described it that way before, but this is why I love waking up doing this. It's like doing that puzzle and always figuring out the picture. It's so satisfying, okay? I'm going to clear the energies before I start today, and I'm going to take these beautiful symbols, and there's going to be 3 dings, hopefully pleasant, but if you're wearing headphones, just be mindful, it might be loud. So here we go. We're going to start with the first one now. All right, beautiful, beautiful Pisces. We cleared out the energy. I'm bringing Liam and Mona in. My beautiful, beautiful guides who have been working really hard for the last 2 years, more than ever. Well, they're saying no. Okay. We'll agree to disagree. I think you're working very differently than before. They were working hard on me, trying to get me to listen to my own spirit, my own being, for a very, very long time. When you're not, it's not that you're never not awakened, but I feel there are levels of awakening in your life. You're either there, or you're on your way there, or you're very beginning of there, and it's quite trying if you're not listening to communication or aware of their communication. So it's, you know, you can be a spiritual person. I spent all of my life going, I'm very spiritual. I believe there's more. But I didn't really think of communicating with more. I just thought, well, when I die, I'll find out, you know? And I think that was like that for many, many of us. Many of us. You'd be a very spiritual person. You could get a lot of intuitive hits. I realized a lot of things that I said throughout my life, I thought, wow, I really was getting hits, and I wasn't even aware. It was just said and not really thought of, or I didn't dive in deeper. I know I'm blathering right now, but I'm guessing that there is a point to this. So I'm going to look down at the cards, because it's saying look down at the cards. It all ties into what this reading is going to be. your magic this week is always having taken blocks and moved through them. Not through them, but finding an answer, because that's tomorrow. When you have blocks, what you do is you take steps to unblock yourself. That is your magic, okay? You've always, you see, even in this, like, she's looking at the blocks, another beautiful card in this deck. But if you look at him, he's looking in the front. Not in this case, look at him. Look at him. The white Sphinx and him are both looking at the blocks. They're both looking at the blocks going, how do I fix this puzzle? How do I figure out this puzzle? In all of your life, you have been a puzzle solver. You have been given things to detangle, to figure out. And that's truly your magic, Pisces. You've probably honed the skill very well. And even getting you to this part, where you're here, where you're listening to your intuition, where some of you I've heard recently have opened up your world and started doing the work that you've always wanted to do, which is, by the way, freaking fabulous, okay? I am so happy when I hear somebody successfully moving forward, doing something they love. Bravo, okay? Because when you figured out that part of life and you can wake up feeling passionately happy with what you are accomplishing every day, that is such a big part of the package. That is such a big part of the package. I'm not saying that the rest of your life doesn't need an overhaul or a look at, but it most certainly will help a lot. All right, I'm going to start pulling some cards. I'm just going to stay here and talk about these two cards all day. I could, you know. I am Pisces as well. Okay, so this is the soul's journey. Love. All right, I like to pull a couple of cards. Actually, no, we're going to start with this one. Okay, love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. All right, so the blocks, when you're being unblocked, if you take the Chariot and go from a place of love, you're going to find that you have many more tools to unblock what you're trying to figure out. When you take it from a place of anger or hate, I'm trying to put the H's at the right place, anger or hate, you are not going to get very far in what you're doing. You're just going to go round and round in your head. You're going to either feel injustice or be mad at the injustice, but all of these emotions, they don't really work at finding a solution. They just keep you in the energy that you're already in, and they keep you blocked. They keep you feeling like a victim. They keep you feeling like nobody loves me. Nobody cares about me. The world is a bad place, etc., whatever you want to call it. The Chariot, though, the charioteer, I should say, is carrying a beautiful wand, and he's ready to use it. And I feel that in your life, you have been ready to use that wand to set yourself free. You look for solutions in the worst of times. When you feel the worst or the lowest, you find a way to try to get rid of these awful feeling swords that are in your way. And in order to do that, you have to find a higher vibration, a better feeling spot. I'm telling you, so I'm going through a change of life, Pisces. And with that, the hormones and the different feelings and everything that I've gone through in my life are coming in very clear in the mirror in front of me. I do believe that a woman goes through this time. I don't know if a man, I can't speak for you guys, but when a woman goes through this time, we are asked to really look. And it's like a pause in a moment to look back for a second to see how far we've come. Along with that is the good, the bad, and the ugly of everything. And sometimes it gets to be a lot, a little too much. I have to bring myself back to the moment of love. There's a little tip for some of you or some ladies who may be doing or suffering through the same thing. When that happens to me, I try to find a place of love or a place that brought me a lot of joy. I will take a childhood book and read it again to bring myself into that beautiful vibe so that I can snap out for a moment of whatever whatever negative stronghold that I have in my mind, or whatever wrong that I've done. It's almost like doing, they're showing me a 12-step program, but for your life. And you're very harsh on yourself. They say that you have a life review when you go on the other side, but I think the life review that women have at midlife is probably very more brutal than that one, because you judge yourself quite unfairly, and you feel quite bad for just about everything. From, I don't know, the fly that you swatted to anything else that might come up. So if you go from a place of love and go back to places of joy and love inside of yourself to try to get yourself out of those blocks, those, not even just because you're going through a change, but maybe you have a question, you have a block or something that you're having a hard time to maneuver yourself through. Taking that beautiful wand and that light, okay, not the darkness is looking the other way, the light of yourself. He's wearing a white shield and the white sphinx, looking both at the swords. Go into a place of light to liberate yourself. Even just for a moment, to give yourself options, or even snap yourself out of a train of thought that doesn't feel so good, to realize, yeah, this is a normal part of life, and hormones are probably to blame in my case. But it's enough so that you snap yourself back into the light and go, okay, cut yourself some slack instead of falling deeper into the hole. So that's my example of that. We've done it a lot in our lives, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to take the negative and just get out of it. You have guilt here. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Alright, so I love the orange in this card, very much the sacral chakra and the swirl that is going, but it's this spiral. I love the fact that they're showing me, I always say that spirals are a positive thing, even the spiral that is leading you down into something not so great or feeling not so wonderful. Everything has a reason, everything has a moment. If even that moment is to understand that you have to realize that you are human, that you are going to make mistakes even when you're doing a life review such as I have. To cut yourself some slack, that you're doing the best, that you've made amends for a lot of things that may have happened. And the other things you feel regretful and remorseful, which means you are a person of moral and a person of value. In other words, it's you're just not, you know, trampling over everybody's life and feelings and not giving a crap about what's going on. It's also there to remind yourself that you have to forgive yourself and move on, that you have to go back into a place of love, that you have to take all these swords out of the way, out of your vision field, so that you can actually see where you're going to next. That you have to remove these feelings, these low emotions of guilt, okay, and release them like the Hierophant. And the stuff that no longer suits you, just let it all go. This is your magic. These swords, when you let them go, it gets easier and easier, because you'll remember doing this over and over again. And sometimes you may end up in frustration going, why am I back here again? I have already dealt with this. And that is, it's repeating something to notice a pattern as well. Some of you have already been there. You already understood that you've been stuck in a pattern. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to pull some cards this week, if this is your first video for the week. I've been pulling from half water, and the way the energies I'm going is half water sign, 1/4 earth, 1/4 fire. This is the water deck, the Enchanted Dream, because it has the moon on it. So I pull for every kind of little pocket. I pull 4 cards, or at least 4 cards. 2 of the water, 1 of the fire, 1 of the earth, to get a reading on this reading. If that makes any sense. I hear from them getting your... Oh, jeez. 2 of Swords. It was kind of just sitting there, wasn't it? It's getting yourself out of the soup, okay? Out of the hot soup. Yeah, it's knowing enough that even when you are... Okay, let's see how they're bringing this through. Even when you can't see what's ahead of you, you're feeling the resistance. That's what I feel with this card. Even if you're blind to it, you're still feeling the resistance in the way that you're moving forward. And that is the indication that something needs to change. Something needs to be removed. You have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands... Yeah, sorry, there was a little fly going by. It is the challenges that you meet. That defiant energy that you're having to deal with. It's like arguing your principles. It's like arguing to keep yourself afloat for some of you, is what I'm hearing. So, oh yeah, we're going to have this little fly, I think, in our reading. Just annoying. Okay, so I'm going to take some fire energy cards as well. The King of Swords, authority. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever gotten in this deck. I don't recognize him in any of your readings. What is he? Yeah, this King of Swords, look at him staring off in the distance. He's leaning on the sword really hard. And, you know, I swear to God, he looks like he's squinting. And it's authority. I love the name of this. So let's pull an Earth card and we'll see what the message comes across with this. Very interesting. So the Magician came out, but it kind of came out... so let's say you have a choice. Okay. So let me think here, because I'm bringing in both William, not Liam, but William. He is the fire energy that I'm working with this week. And Ashu was also the earth energy, very, very smart. So much, he's very guru type energy. He's so nice to tap into. His words are eloquent, I feel. They're simple but beautiful. Okay, so where are we at here? Where are we at? We're defending ourselves. The block that comes in. You see, I feel that the King of Swords is squinting. Yeah, I understand this. The King of Swords is squinting in this card because it has nothing to do with the mind. It's beyond him. Okay? Guilt and stuff and everything that we go, it's from memories of the past. Memory is stored in the mind. The mind is the one that's controlling all of this. Well, I remember this. I remember that. Memory, too, in time, gets a little bit distorted. Okay? So, William is saying, the King of Swords here, he's trying to get validation or trying to figure out what this all means. He's the authority, the mind, okay, the one that remembers all of these things. But in this case, the mind is not always the right place or the right space to remove blocks. You have to do it from a place of light, of love, of spiritual more, of life path more, than just the mind itself. And that is the magic, okay? So you can choose to, I feel like Ashu is going, it's your choice. You can have the magician or the magic in the upright. And we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, where you have spent your time in your life removing blocks by searching for the light, okay? By searching for the movement through it. You've hit the blocks and then you've said, I've got to find a way out. Okay? So it can go either way. I feel like he's saying you can You can do it one way, you can do it the other. Everything is perspective when we look at it this way. Anyway, Pisces. Okay. You can either defend yourself or you can just unblock yourself. He says a lot of it depends on how you see it. This is the student way of looking at things. This is, we're walking into something. The magic in is that we've walked into, or we think we've encountered a block. And it's like it's like walking into the trap and then finding a way out of the trap. Now the cards tomorrow are going to be talking about seeing the trap before it comes. In other words, you're going to move away from it before. That's like, for gamers, it's expert level. Okay? It's expert level type stuff when you get to the cards of tomorrow. It's knowing to identify them before you get there. In this case, our magic is when we got snared, we've been able to find a way out of it. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely this card is hitting me square in the forehead, which is not surprising, as this is the brain part of the you know, our lives. We do work from the mind. We try to solve things from a mind's perspective, and he can't see because that's not where you find the answers. Not this time around. It's on an energy level. Okay? So when you find yourself squinting, going, I have an expert level, all the tools here, all the magician's tool to get myself out of it, yet I still can't see it. I can't see it. This is representing a real challenge. What's going on? Look at him. He's like squinting. Like, what am I looking at? What am I trying to figure out? He can't see. And he's like, I can't. You need to look at it from a different perspective other than the mind. Absolutely. Other than the mind. Okay. All right, Pisces. So I'm going to take from the other deck, the Sacred Forest. Spirit Guardian of Autumn. Letting go.